Namaste, Your Royal Majesties, and welcome to Soul Horoscope SUPERscope Weekly Report. My name is Christopher Witecki. Consider me your sensei to serious joy. I'm here to help you step into your heart, and that for a Leo or Leo rising is the essence of all of your power. So it is a pleasure to be of soul service, Your Majesty. Now this is a SUPERscope because it's designed to be super. It's designed to be there for several personalities. This is for the Leos, and this is for the Leo risings like myself. This is also for people with Venus in Leo. I have a little love scope for you a little later on in the program. And all of you adhere to step 1. In the 11 steps of serious joy, the Leos and Leo risings are practicing step 1, which is I love myself. And some people are disgusted by Leos loving themselves. You know why? Because they're not loving themselves. And in the essence of all of astrology, the sun is the center of everything. The love is the center of everything. So where are the I love personalities this week? Well, they're working on career, and this week, career and the decisions you make will actually last quite a long time. We're working on what we call the I decide state of awareness. This is what you decide and why. And this turns into your ability to control your life because each little decision leads to the overall direction. And that turns into a policy, a governing policy. And if you're a leader, this is the essence of your potential leadership. Now, when it comes to this area of your life, Your Majesty, the universe has been working very hard with you. Last year, there was a solar eclipse at 19 degrees. Prior to that, there was a tour of Jupiter through Taurus to expand your ideas of what career can be. And this particular week, you're going to get another solar eclipse at step 8. And this is going to be a foundation to your decision-making and career direction that will likely last until 2022. That's the next time there'll be a solar eclipse in this part of your life. And after that, 2032. So clearly the universe thinks that Leos and Leo risings ought to be on the right path, and this one will last quite a while. So where are we this week? Well, we're still under this Grand Cross, and this means that we are growing, but it's underneath the seams very privately. The Uranus-Mars opposition for you is between your thinking and your beliefs. Uranus in Aries is trying to innovate your belief structure, and you already did a lot of work last month to innovate your belief structure and get yourself hopefully on the right course, which is on course with what your heart wants, right? So this career transit makes a lot of sense, and the real question is, are you making decisions based on what you've learned in your beliefs? So Mars retrograde in Libra means that your thought processes, your communication, negotiations for certain businesses, and if you're a messenger like myself, your message is under construction until May 21st or so. Your ego identity also is under construction, and your overall presence and the way you put yourself out there is under construction. Everyone's is. In your case, though, the ego is changing by thoughts. By changing the way you think, you will change the way you are and the way you move forward in this particular case. Now, the Pluto-Jupiter opposition there is between, is between higher faith with Jupiter and actual reality with Pluto. Now with Pluto, actual reality lifestyle, you've learned all you can learn right now. You should be filling in the gaps and doing what you know, living by the new rules of how to live in the moment. But the fastest moving planet here actually is Jupiter in Cancer, which means that this Grand Cross is breaking free when you grow spiritually, when you surrender to your self-compassion, when you surrender to your higher grace. And when you are most importantly graceful to yourself. That's real spiritual. The truth is spiritual growth, if you want to boil it down to what spiritual growth is, it's being more and more compassionate to yourself. And if you're more compassionate to yourself, you will inevitably be compassionate to others. That's a given as far as how the conscious works. So self-compassion is the essence. So what does that bring us then? Well, the solar eclipse is in the house of career consciousness, and it's at step 8, which means you are stepping away from old decision policy. Decision policy that would affect belief, affect thoughts, affect faith, affect reality. Decision policy. And of course, we want to put in that decision policy now our heart and what our heart wants, and basically step away from anything your heart doesn't want. So this is the last chance to get out of a bad business deal, the last chance to get off the wrong course, the last chance to not focus correctly. And looking back at the solar eclipses, last year's solar eclipse at 19 degrees, what that did was blast you in a very high level, chapter 2 proficient level of your career. So your career is like second tier, got busy, very, very busy. It overgrew. Therefore, anything not on a proper foundation, especially with Saturn and Scorpio, fell. So any career aspects that weren't on a proper foundation fell and collapsed. This solar eclipse is at 8 degrees in that first tier of consciousness. And so it is basically booster shotting, you know, the ground floor. It's going to help you clear what might have been destroyed and rebuild from there. But if your focus is on the second or third tier of your career and you get this blast to the core with no awareness, then you could easily top, you see, in your conscious manifestation of your career. So it's very important, no matter how elaborate and crazy our plan is, you know, which is super fun and we love to do this, build in our career, you still want to be focused on the basics, says this solar eclipse. So there's a grand trine that is grand trining it all, uniting all emotionally and growing emotionally under the seams. And again, it's headed by Jupiter in Cancer. So as you move forward with that higher faith in self, higher self-compassion, higher self-mercy, making it easier and easier on yourself all the time, you will find that your emotional foundation fills in the gaps and you feel solid and grounded. You will also feel with Chiron that you can trust the universe. You can start to trust the world again. So you've been healing trust issues, healing from betrayals, healing from feeling where your boundaries were crossed. And these two areas, both your emotional foundation and your healing, they go forward, again, when you just are more and more compassionate to yourself. So the Grand Cross is holding things up, but the Grand Trine is keeping things fluid. But both rely on you being more self-compassionate and nice to yourself. So this week, in a nutshell, Monday night before you go to bed, you want to make some decisions about what you're stepping away from, and this is a decision policy to change your decision policy. In essence, as long as you're deciding based on your heart, or you're asking your heart before you make the decision, then you will always be fine. Your heart will not mislead you, especially as a Leo. Sometimes you have to hold faith, all those things. But you want to definitely know where you're not investing your heart anymore by the time you fall asleep. The eclipse happens through the night, and you're going to love and trust and be very tied up professionally for a couple of days there. Then on Thursday and Friday, public opinion rolls in, and that public opinion might tempt you to sabotage your own desires to get out of whatever you're trying to get out of. So don't step backwards, Your Majesty. Then on Saturday night, it goes into pure faith. So over the weekend, it will be that test of faith, and your faith will have paid off or not paid off when you get to the end of the week. So this week is about rebuilding your career's soul capital by focusing on what you're going to cut away from that doesn't work. That leaves room only for what will work, by the way, and those are the new sprouts, which will start to come up just in the beginning of next week, I believe. I first thought it would be here, but now I'm thinking it's going to take a little longer. I'm a little bit ambitious. So what about people who love like a Leo or who have Venus in Leo? Well, for the Venus and Leo people, this is about really stepping into a potential for intimacy. All right, Venus has reached a high level in the sector of your conscious where you can really be transformed by the potential of trusting yourself and therefore trusting in the relationships you trust in. So there's really three types of relationships on the planet. You're either single and looking, you're in a relationship and you're looking for it to be better, usually, who isn't? Or you're not, you are single and not looking. For those people who are single and looking, you're going to be extremely, especially sexually, attractive from now on, from this point forward. And ultimately, that is to find a partner that can dance the tango with you on a high level. For those who already have a working relationship, you're going to find that you reach a synergy now where your connection together is greater than yourself apart. So it can be profound. If you're in a relationship that's not working, you're going to find that this is where you find out it's really not working. And then lastly, those who are single and don't care, this is where you might go through a spiritual journey with yourself starting this week, where you fall in love with yourself on a high, very, very private you and creator level. But it is that level of knowing on a level that you'll never have elsewhere in your life. So it could be powerful for you. So all Venus and Leos in a powerful trust and intimacy moment in their life. Now, if you have a Megascope Monthly, I am saying please take them out and watch them, especially weeks 4 and 5. I do some backstory and some help, a little deeper help than I can get here in the horoscopes about this solar eclipse in Taurus and what it can do for you. And if you don't own one, you can still buy one at soulmart.me for immediate download. Now, if you would like some real-time reality coaching, I'm your guy. I would text people 5 to 7 times a day in my network based on their chart. So it's much further and deeper than this. If you want to try, the first 7 days are free. Come on down to gavenus.com. And if you're watching us on YouTube, we say please subscribe to our channel. You'll notice new videos that came out, like the Venus videos that came out this week. Or come on down to Facebook. You can do that at soulgarden.me and like us or tell your friends. And if you'd like me to email you, come join our mailing list at soulmart.me. Well, Your Royal Majesty, that's all I have for this 7 days. This is going to be an interesting time. We'll see. The seeds you were planting with this solar eclipse will grow wild. So whether you were doing the right or wrong thing, in other words, if you're on the path of your heart or on the path of something else, it will grow nonetheless. This will be a heavy, good growth year for a career. So be prepared to shine nonetheless. And I will see you 7 days with more. I love you and live, love, be.